Hello, my friends. Yes, it has not been a very good day today. Nope, no, I have not had a particularly good day.
Oh, because we're late.
Because we're late? Yes, that's a factor.
Oh yeah, the other one.
But also the bit where Amazon terminated our affiliate account.
Yeah.
That also had something to do with it. So, you know what? I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that on the show today. I'll just do a quick thing right now. Basically, we violated the terms of service. There were a couple of things that I didn't realize I interpreted incorrectly. And in a nutshell, Amazon laid the smackdown on that and has permanently banned our account. Well, not permanently, but they have banned our account until such time as all of the videos that reference Amazon and creating a bookmark to their site with our link.
Okay, that part, I don't say that. So none of my videos have to go away.
Sure. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
All of the videos
Victory!
that contain that reference
That sounds fine then.
must be removed.
That's probably okay.
From the channel.
That's no big deal.
And then we can reapply.
I mean, we still get to keep Scrapyard Wars, right?
Not they will reinstate our account. Then we can reapply for an account. And I was like, so basically, no then. All right. So we're already kind of scratching our heads going, well, gee, I mean, how much were we really making on Amazon affiliates? Maybe we could call out something else at the end of the video, or maybe we can, I don't know, maybe Amazon could talk to us and we could figure out some kind of a solution where, hey, how about we fix it moving forward and we, you know, get a new tracker link or something like that. So stuff, but nope, that's dead. So what's the funniest, the greatest irony here, actually, that I personally really appreciated. I love irony. I was telling this to Brandon the other day. I was climbing a ladder in the middle of our late night shoot.
An irony ladder?
No.
Made out of iron?
No, aluminum actually, but very nice. I like it. Good thinking.
Thank you.
So I was climbing a ladder and I was putting up the last sheet of paper on the 2.5-story windows with this ladder propped actually at just above the midway point on something and actually not against anything on the top. And I was like, well, if I'm going to die, this is going to be the one. And I would like for the last piece of paper to be the one that I die on because I appreciate irony. I do. I love irony. If I'm going to die, I'd like for it to be in an ironic way. So anyway, if my Amazon affiliate account is going to be terminated, I do appreciate that it's in an ironic way. And already recorded, coming out very soon, is a video called How Does Linus Media Group Make Money? Honest Answers Episode 2, much of which has been rendered completely invalid by the recent ruling of Amazon Associates specialist team, who has decided that we no longer make money using Amazon Associates. Junko, it's not pre-recorded. So there you have it. I at least appreciate the irony of the situation.
You know, if it all goes to hell, we can just start Twitch streaming. All the time.
Twitch streaming, I've heard it's pretty good money. We'll just create like a loose affiliation of Twitch streamers.
No, we should just get like
we have the internet connection for it.
I actually don't really mind this idea. We should just get every piece of hardware that like anyone releases and just hold it. And then for the whole stream, top donator just gets to pick what we build next. And we just build the computer, show them the computer, benchmark whatever games they want to benchmark, and then the next top donator gets to pick our next build. We build it, we benchmark it for them, they can see what it looks like, we can cable manage it all.
That sounds horrifyingly profitable.
We can cable manage it all, we can benchmark all the games that they would want to say. They can go like, okay, I've got this build idea. It's got all this hardware in it from all these people with this case, all that kind of stuff. We can give them their thermals. We can give them their power draw. We can give them the performance in the games that they want to play.
And basically, by donating like $50, they would effectively get an unparalleled consultation on the best rig, probably saving $50 in the process. It's actually kind of brilliant, but Matthew_TG brings up an excellent point. You'd have to have a proper schedule to do Twitch streaming and actually show up on time, rip.
Yeah, but like, I mean, my stream works every time. So maybe if I'm managing...
I did replace the power supply in the stream PC. That's actually what I was doing before we started today, because the system hard locked right before we were supposed to go live today, and I was just like, you know what? I have replaced every component in this system except the power supply, which I assumed was fine, because it's a Be Quiet Dark Power Pro 850 watt, 80 plus titanium. Like, it's a completely overkill, and actually excellent power supply. And so I threw in some test bench one that is known good, and the system hasn't been behaving strangely.
No, it notably feels better than I'm not guaranteeing it good yet, because I think it's other specific things, but
people are like, I would watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, like
in the Twitch chat.
It slowly started to become like kind of a better idea as I went on.
Oh no. All right, well, at any rate, we have some great topics for you guys today on the actual WAN show, not the WAN show where we just build computers. Microsoft makes a bold move into helping Server the marijuana business.
Yes.
Yes. It's a, I was trying to make they're stirring the pot.
I guess
because that's like causing controversy.
Oh.
Anyway.
But how does that relate?
Just shut up. Overwatch takes the number one.
You say they're lighting the fire.
Yeah. They're lighting a fire under their competitors who are not as progressive. They're, I'm sure we could come up with other things.
Nope, that's just straight up a reference. That doesn't refer to anything else.
All right, Overwatch takes the #1 spot from League of Legends in Korean PC internet cafes.
There you go.
AKA, what are they called? Bangs?
PC bongs.
Bongs?
Bong,
Yeah.
I think it's bong. I could totally be wrong.
Yeah.
MSI ASUS.
My Korean's not great either, if it helps at all.
No. Gajima.
Kamsahamnida.
I don't know what that is.
I believe it means thank you, sir.
Oh, that's cool. MSI and ASUS allegedly send VGA or video card review samples with higher clock speeds than retail with like custom
means have a good day.
stuff. Well, that's cool.
No, wait. No, English. Yeah, it is. It's thank you. Huh. There it is.
Yes. And smaller like processor chips may rely on vacuum tube technology, which is like the last thing I would have expected to be on the end of that sentence, but sure.
Microsoft is weeding out the competition.
Oh, that's good. That one's good.
What else we got? No one's gonna. Really? Oh, almost no one was after it. There's just a whole lot of like hashtag Vape Nation, to which all I have to say is this. Whoa! That's an unexpected sponsor. We haven't talked about Discord in a while. Did Nick make this splash page?
I don't know.
Because this is what they're supposed to look like.
Last time we talked about Discord, it didn't go over very well. People didn't like it.
So Nick made the sponsor page? Is that what that has to do with?
I have no idea. No. I was just because you said we haven't talked about them in a while.
Yeah.
Last time we talked to them about them.
Well, that was
I made a Cribs video.
That was your Cribs video, I think.
Everyone thought it was a Vape Nation video because apparently everyone's too young to remember Cribs.
Really?
So like
People
I made
MTV
one
Cribs?
offhand reference by spelling it the wrong way with my hands for Vape Nation as a joke. Everyone thought that was like the whole point of the video.
Really?
It was Cribs. It was not Vape Nation.
You know what the funny thing about that is I'm too old to really know what Vape Nation is. Whereas like
Cribs
is
you
like
remember that?
I remember not watching it because it was super cringeworthy.
Yeah, but like you knew what it was.
But everyone knew what it was.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it's
MTV
like
Cribs
it's like Gravedigger. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah,
even if you have no idea what a monster truck is, the odds that you've encountered Gravedigger at some point is actually pretty good. Or like, you know, Michael Jordan. It's like even if you don't care about basketball at all, you know who that guy is. It's like MTV Cribs. If you don't care about bad reality television programming, you probably still know what it is. Or at
crazy
least
camera angles and stuff. And there's so many references to
young.
Cribs. I think I literally said crib for one. The way
yes.
like the way Burkle filmed it was like awesome with like the crazy camera angles, like the pulling the camera in and out and like all this crazy stuff. He made sure that I said like the lingo that was said on there commonly. Like we got this
installed. Let me guess, Burkle
and
legit
stuff.
watched Cribs? Like
No, he had filmed his friend doing a spoof of it or something.
Ah,
So his friend had done a bunch of research
So
and
we
stuff.
were effectively doing a spoof of a spoof.
Yeah.
Like 10 years late.
Yep.
And people didn't get the
no one
reference.
got it.
Well, there you go. I guess
it also wasn't great. And like a lot of the comments were like, Burkle should have hosted this. And you are correct. But then no one would have been able to film it properly.
Right.
So we weren't really sure how to...
As much as Burkle should have hosted it, Luke shouldn't have filmed it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Very much true.
All right, so this is some big news. Original article here is from, let's go with the Wall Street Journal article. Are you posting this in the chat?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think we did that last week.
No.
It is what it is. Microsoft to acquire LinkedIn for $26.2 billion. So how this affects one of our sponsors today, who was actually acquired by LinkedIn this year, or late last year, I think.
Yeah.
Lynda.com. Probably very little, according to Microsoft. So they've said that LinkedIn will pretty much continue to operate as a mostly independent company. They're going to give them their head, so to speak. It's a horse lingo talk. And so blah, blah, blah. LinkedIn team has grown a fantastic business centered on connecting the world's professionals. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said impressively. Together we can accelerate the growth of LinkedIn, as well as Microsoft Office 365 and Dynamics, as we seek to empower every person and organization on the planet. So there you have it. The funny thing to me about Microsoft buying a social network is that Microsoft in the early days, like
had the best one.
Had the best online interconnected social platform and completely squandered it. Like, do you remember those piss poor MSN profiles that you could create?
Oh yeah. That were like websites, kinda? And they were weird.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, they had an opportunity to take that. They had pretty much a monopoly on email.
Yep.
So everyone and their dog had a Hotmail or an @msn.com account. And all this like data mining crap that guys like Facebook and Google have come in and captured, Microsoft had an opportunity to develop as they went, or just sit on ass for however long and acquire LinkedIn for $26 billion.
Do you think you're going to have an Outlook login?
For LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Really?
That was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. Is they're a little bit aggressive about trying to get people to do like Outlook logins and whatnot for their stuff?
That's very interesting. You know, I actually have an Outlook login for our Office 365 accounts.
Yep.
But have you noticed that it's like broken?
Super
like it's
broken.
like at our domain.onmicrosoft.com, and it's separate from my other Outlook logins that I can't.
It gave me one for mine, and it's the same broken mess. Yeah.
And I legit.
I have to look up the source email every time I need to log in because I don't remember what it is.
I've spent like a couple emails. I've spent a couple of emails, which is now a unit of time.
Or like ammo.
Yeah.
I've got 10 emails today. Gotta spend them right. Get through a couple here.
It's like, these bits are going to run out if we send too many emails. I've spent like a couple hours on a couple of occasions trying to figure out how to fix it, because there's like a wizard.
Really?
But the wizard just doesn't work at all. Like, somehow I ended up on like Azure or something. Like,
Oh, wow.
it's like,
Okay.
what is this? I just want it to be at my domain. Okay, just forget it.
Yeah, they're weird about the email stuff. So
how much do you wish you'd invested in LinkedIn at this point? It was approved at 50% above the current market value for LinkedIn shares. Sick. So the transaction was unanimously approved by the board of directors of both LinkedIn and Microsoft, and it's expected to close this calendar year. Tell me something. Do you see? And yeah, we should straw poll this, because I want to hear from you guys. Do you see a way that your engagement on LinkedIn could somehow affect your
No.
decision to...
I know where you're going. No, I don't. I personally think LinkedIn is just this stupid, super weird kind of circle jerk.
So every social media platform.
Basically. But in like a uniquely weird way where like people feel obligated to have an account. You know what I mean? It's not like Facebook where they're like, I'm on there because like there's certain friends or like a specific group. Like I have 2 groups on Facebook that I care about. One of them is a group that a bunch of my friends have,
Right.
where we just link music to each other.
Right.
And it's just basically a jukebox now.
Yep. Okay.
And then the other group is like a gaming group of friends that I have.
Sure.
That's why I still have my Facebook. A lot of people have like a reason or two to still have it. LinkedIn
Right.
is just like, most people just feel like they should.
Well, because it's your resume.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's funny. I didn't create a LinkedIn until I was thinking about leaving MCIX.
The reason
And I was
I
like,
have
oh,
one
I should probably have one.
is so I can show off my little gamification thing. I did the Coursera course and got gamification certified and was like, well, I can put it there. I don't think I've updated it since then. I was just like, meh, there we go.
I guess another thing I'd be really curious to hear about, because to a greater extent...
Like how an employer would use it?
No, I want to know who all has an account. Because to a greater extent than something like Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter, I can see a reason for pretty much everyone and their dog to have one, even if it's just because they kind of feel like they have to. Like,
yeah.
Facebook's kind of like that to me, where even before I had other social media platforms that I used to promote the YouTube videos, because quite frankly, I'm not much of a natural social media interactor. Like, I like talking to you guys, but if I could do that in some other way, then I would prefer that. Like, just spontaneously posting the meal that I'm about to eat or the product that I'm working on is not something that comes naturally. It's something that I kind of do when I'm not that busy.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like,
But even before I did all that stuff, even before it was kind of my job, I had a Facebook account, and I believe I had my LinkedIn account.
Okay.
So those are the ones that are just, you kind of have to have it because everyone has it, at least from my perspective.
I don't think I had a LinkedIn account until the Coursera thing for gamification. I might have just like made one so that someone didn't steal my name or something.
Right.
Or my login handle or whatever. I often do that with a lot of different things.
I sure wish I had done that on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Especially like now that I'm a little bit more of a prominent internet personality.
Gamer tags, dude.
People just snatch it up. Like I get tweets all the time. Hey, I was playing a game with you the other night. I'm like, so I was out of the country the other night. I like super forgot my laptop and had no internet. So
no, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
I
I'm
have
sorry.
seen a Linus Tech with the little bunny thing
Really?
in a game that I have played.
What game?
I think it was Counter-Strike. It was not you.
Oh, okay.
I know it wasn't.
Okay.
I have you on my thing. So
Right,
it was
yes.
not you. And like they didn't know that it was me.
Oh, really? Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I was like, this is weird. Because I know that's not actually Linus, but he doesn't know that this is me at all. So this is a very weird situation.
So Microsoft is hoping to kind of bring it all together, but it looks like most of you would not have LinkedIn affect your inclination to use Office 365 or Microsoft Cloud Services. I spelled that wrong. And I'm also going to have a look at how many of you actually have LinkedIn accounts.
Whoa, that was
Wow.
not expected at all.
I did not see that one coming.
Age range though.
So are you guys? I mean, okay. Well, we'll go to Twitch chat for this, just because I don't want to do a whole formal straw poll. We spent a lot of time on this topic already. But is this something that you don't have one because you feel too young for it, or what exactly is the deal here? I'm gonna go ahead and let Twitch chat kind of. Got people saying it's creepy. Got other people saying get a job, you darn kids. Yeah, I've got a lot of you just saying yeah, you're young. And don't feel like you need one. A lot of people posting their ages. Apparently they haven't gone to hiding your personal information on the internet school. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the likelihood of someone screen scraping all of this information and tying it back to your account and doxing you is very low, and the odds of you actually being honest
We
about
have
it are
one
very
alien
low.
watching.
We have
Like
one alien watching.
67,000 years old.
Okay, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Although on that subject, I actually don't know if this is in our topics for this week, but there was I was reading an article about a shoot. You know what? Why don't you take the next one and I'll see if I can find this because it was really interesting.
Let me figure out what it is. I'm gonna jump a fair amount then, all the way down to Overwatch taking the #1 spot from League of Legends in Korean PC Bang. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I'm gonna post the article in the chat, which you're almost definitely not gonna be able to read. Some of you will be able to, but not that many, considering it is super not in English. One of the main reasons why I find this interesting, before I even go into the article at all, which I'm pretty sure is just gonna say that it is now being played more than League of Legends, is that this is great. I love this so much. My personal opinion on Overwatch, as some people have seen on Twitter, is that it's kinda okay, and that the only reason why I actually care about it is that my friends play. The game itself I find rather uninteresting, and I actually technically prefer Team Fortress. But this is a full-price game that isn't free to play. It has some microtransactions, but it's an extremely small part of the game. League of Legends is a free-to-play game that is... Skins are a really big deal, and you can't get them for free. In Overwatch, you can get the skins for free, for sure. You can just get more of them if you pay some money. It's kind of cool to see a game that you just have to buy and doesn't rely on this other stuff working well, because hopefully more of those will happen.
Well, you'll have to elaborate on that. I mean, why do you care about non-free-to-play games being popular?
I find that a lot of free-to-play games are low quality and push extremely hard to try to form game mechanics around the idea of you spending money. I'm not saying League of Legends does that. League of Legends is actually one of the lowest offenders in terms of free-to-play games at all, which is great. They're doing great. And I would be way more happy if Overwatch beat anyone else, because I don't feel like League of Legends is being that aggressive with it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy that a paid game is working so well, because usually paid games are just built around being good games so that more people buy them, instead of being addictive games so that more people pay microtransaction fees. Yeah. I don't think there's actually a ton to add from the article itself. Overwatch took the spot by 0.3% of total playtime countrywide, so it's narrow.
And it's like a super hot new title.
Yes.
Just kind of throwing that out there. It's sort of like it's the sexy new girlfriend or boyfriend. The infatuation is strong. Like pretty much everyone I know.
Oh, super important note. Did you add this or did someone else add this?
Nick added it.
Apparently you can play for free in a lot of the PC bunks, so they probably have accounts tied to the computers.
Yep.
Which is a huge reason that more people would be playing it. So
Yep.
maybe not quite as cool as I
But
thought.
given the choice to play one free game versus another free game, people are choosing to play Overwatch instead.
When I was in Taiwan, people were playing
LOL.
with their own accounts. So, and like a huge amount of people were playing Overwatch there, to the point where they had like a big mural on the Internet Cafe sign. If you want to see a super cool video on that, coming soon. I'm not going to say when.
Yeah, I actually don't know exactly when.
I do.
To clarify on how the PC bomb thing works for Overwatch, apparently you just sign in with your Battle.net.
Yeah.
And it's on your account, but you can just play it for free.
Ah, okay.
So it's not
Whoa.
like there's an account that's tied to the
That's
PC bomb.
very
It's just,
cool.
you still need
Okay,
to
they can't hear you, so we should probably be summarizing rather than, or you could
That's
just
really
come over
cool,
here
though.
and speak directly into the microphone. He's,
He gives a finger, so I guess we're explaining it.
yeah,
Bye,
I get,
Nick.
okay.
So apparently you can log into your own account so that you have your own name and your own friends list and all that kind of stuff, but the purchase of Overwatch is somehow tied to the PC bong, so you can play for free, which is cool.
Yeah. Apparently, League of Legends is more
clarifications
popular again as of more recent stats, but it's still noteworthy given that this is the first time it's happened in 4 years that anything has overtaken League of Legends. So
Essentially what happens is like the PC bongs work out a deal with Blizzard where they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're just going to let everyone use the game.
And they pay like a
They
lump
pay
sum.
a lump sum to Blizzard, and then people pay hourly to use it on their own account.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so Gizmodo, I'll go ahead and post this in the chat. I'm already ready. Gizmodo says Facebook will start tracking which stores you walk into. Awesome.
Awesome.
The data, well, awesome for Facebook.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh,
data
that's
mining is
surprising.
strong with this one.
Yes.
Facebook wants to show advertisers that their ads make you visit their physical stores and buy their stuff. So to do this, they'll use the phone's location services to track whether people actually walk into a store after seeing an ad. This is interesting because now that Facebook has said that they plan to do this, I have to assume that they already know that the result is going to be a positive one, or they probably wouldn't have brought it up so that no one asks them about
So
it.
you're thinking they already did it?
Oh, come on. Facebook takes like probably 10 to 15% off of my daily battery life. It's doing something. And it sure as hell isn't doing anything with me actually opening the app.
Facebook is intense. Yeah.
So it's called the local awareness feature, and businesses can include a map with their ad to show users where the closest store is in case the user wants something immediately. So the advertising business won't be able to see you individually. They'll just be able to match visits with the number of people that saw their ad. So early results from the feature have been good for businesses, apparently. French retailer E.
Yes,
Leclerc
they are using it.
says it's reached 1.5 million people within 10 kilometers. 12% of clicks led to a visit within a week.
So, okay, but the metric I want to see is the foot traffic change. Not that. I wanna
Right,
see
because they
the-
might have gone anyway.
Yeah, I want to see the increased amount of foot traffic that happened because of this. That's the only metric that really matters there.
Well, I don't even know what E. Leclerc is, because if it's like a grocery store, then the odds of you going to a grocery store within a week are pretty good. Let's have a
What
look
the
at
heck?
what this is.
So, sports gear? Why is there an ad
Oh
for
no, they
their
have TV.
own site?
Wait, what? Oh,
Close-
maybe they are.
I think
Maybe
this
no.
is
I
an
think they're a
ad.
sponsor.
Oh,
Enter the
okay.
competition. No, I don't want to enter the competition. What do? They sell Nestea.
So are they just like a big Walmart-y kind of thing?
I don't know. Online store, high tech,
Someone in chat
wine.
know?
They have everything.
It's a supermarket.
Okay, so it's a supermarket.
Yeah, a bunch of people are saying it's a supermarket.
So basically, a marketer at a supermarket thinks it's interesting that that percentage of people who clicked on the ad went to a store. I mean, this is kind of a correlation causation argument, don't you think? I would argue that if you clicked on a coupon or something for E. Leclerc, the odds were excellent that you were already planning
Yeah.
a trip there because it's a
That's-
grocery store and you're
that's-
just taking advantage of a deal.
I'll bounce back in 1 second. But I seriously think that's why I want to see the foot traffic numbers.
Right.
Like I don't really care about your clicks. How many people actually made it into the store? Because that's what matters to me if I'm a store owner.
Right. Interesting. I mean, these guys are advertising in huge volume. 12% of clicks, so 180,000, led to a visit within a week. So 12% of 180,000 is what? Like almost 20,000 people, almost 20,000 visits based on your Facebook app tracking where you're going. That is some creepy stuff right there. I am not a huge fan of this. To be very clear, when I said that's cool at the beginning, I meant that's cool in terms of that is a very interesting use of technology. And that is very, very sort of clever advertising, not that's cool, I want my Facebook app tracking me. Because quite honestly, the only reason I even have Facebook installed on my phone is because Facebook has been burying any content that's not posted natively to their platform. So for example, if I sent out a tweet like, oh, this Stormtrooper keychain doodad is so cool. Go check it out on Amazon. Excuse me, not Amazon, somewhere else, I guess. Go check it out wherever else. If I posted that to Twitter, the way I had it set up in the past is I would just have that tweet waterfall to the Facebook page. Well, Facebook actually started actively blocking the waterfalling of our YouTube video posts because it was working and then stopped. So now we have to manually post video releases there. And what I realized they've been doing once I started posting stuff natively to Facebook is they've been burying anything that waterfalled from another platform. So you can actually see right on every Facebook post what the reach is. And you can obviously see publicly visible data like likes and comments. And I started posting stuff that I mean, don't take this the wrong way. I mean, you know, keep hitting that like button on Facebook or commenting or whatever. But like, I was posting stuff that I really didn't think was very interesting on Facebook. Like here, what's a good example? I posted like a picture of a graphics card. Yeah, here we go. A picture of an EVGA graphics card last night, less than 24 hours ago, that reached 240,000 people, has 9.2 thousand likes, 166 shares, and 372 comments. I mean, I will give it to Facebook. When they decide to push your content to people, apparently either they're like really like doing it, or other platforms are burying content to a much greater degree than I originally anticipated. Because we've only got, what is it? 342,000 likes on the Facebook page.
So to get that many is insane.
So to have a reach of 250,000, I mean, that's like us publishing every single YouTube video we publish, getting 2 million views,
again,
or like
though,
1.5 million.
People can just scroll past it, not even look at it, and it counts.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's why the video views count on Facebook is so insane, because it starts auto-playing when you scroll by.
but that still tells us something really interesting, and that's that unlike Twitter, you know, apparently 70% of our Facebook likes, A, haven't like muted us, and B, are actually getting the post. And the same thing goes for YouTube subscriptions. There is no way, and you know, Game Theorist did a great video on this. There is no way that YouTube actually pushes every one of your videos to every one of your subscribers. They actually don't do it. You don't get our videos, if I recall correctly.
No. I like every once in a while I'll notice that I haven't gotten them in forever, so I'll go and just like auto play some playlists, and then they'll start to pop up again.
Yeah, so there you go. If you're not watching regularly, they just kind of stop delivering
The
them.
worst is when I'll have a video playing, and like I'll leave work and forget about it. Take my headphones off, it's still playing, leave work, forget about it, come back in on like Monday, and it's just still playing videos from whoever, and now all my subscription boxes are just solidly them.
That would be a really fun video. Like a rabbit hole style video. Like exploring the YouTube rabbit hole.
Like do different things and just see how it reacts, because we would never be able to actually figure it out.
No, you should do nothing. So we should leave YouTube videos playing Watch Next for like a week.
Oh, whoa.
Or like a month. And like we should do it on, like we could create a bunch of VMs. So we could actually do it on like 20 computers at the same time. And we should start them all on the same video. Like 10 seconds apart. And then see where they all end up. How deep does the YouTube rabbit hole go?
And like what it is now suggesting to you and stuff?
Yeah.
Should we also, on the VMs, should we VPN them out so they're in different geographical locations?
I don't think so. I think...
Should we try that with like one or two just to see
Yes.
if it's... Yeah.
Yeah, we should have a couple be from... so we should VPN most of them to America or something. And then we should do like a couple in Canada, a couple in Great Britain or something like that, and like a couple in Australia. And I want to see where they end up. I bet this could be like a Twitch plays Pokemon type thing if it wasn't for all the copyright infringement. Like if you just had a Twitch...
Insane amount of copyright
Yeah,
infringement.
all the copyright anyway. But if you had a Twitch channel that just played the rabbit hole, I bet that would go like, I bet people would be interested in that.
Where's
Twitch chat's freaking out.
the
They're
rabbit hole now?
like, do it.
I like
do
it.
it. Do
I
it.
like it.
Do you want to do it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll email myself.
All right. Yeah. Let's do it. I am super curious because there is no way that the algorithm sends them all to the same place. It's so experimental. Like it's constantly learning. So you know, oh man, I can't even imagine some of the weird stuff some of them will have been watching by the time we get back to it. I like it.
So like, how do we film this though? Do we do like updates along the way, or do we just like personally take notes along the way and then do a recap video?
So we have a machine. If you can only tie it up for like a week, I have a 44 core machine. So we could actually probably screen cap.
It's just such a like. I have a 44 core. Like, who can just say that? Like, I don't know. Sorry. Keep going.
So you
Sometimes
could
the
do-
job catches me.
You could do 44 VMs, each running a 2.2 gigahertz Broadwell Core i7
Yeah.
with hyperthreading. Okay, you could do 44 machines, and if you can only tie it up for like a week, because I'm gonna roll it out as like a render server at some
Yep.
point. I'm stress testing it now. Then go ham. Go ham, because John from Lime Tech can help you clone the VM
So with 44
so that you don't even use up extra
VMs,
storage.
I could even put like 15 or 20 of them on the standard experiment.
Yeah.
And then try some weird stuff with
Yeah.
these ones. Start on a Linus Tech Tips video.
And because
see
it's
where
a
it ends up.
reasonably powerful core, you could set up XSplit on all of them, and you could actually record the entire thing because it's an unraid server, so we could fill it with all the storage.
Oh my god, how much storage do we need for that?
A lot.
44 computers constantly capturing their screen for a week.
Yes.
How much storage?
Should be fine. We could record at pretty low bit rate. I don't think it's a big deal. Like 720p, like 2 megabit, something, or yeah, something like that. Yeah, it should be fine.
So 88 megabit for a week.
Yeah. I mean, that's only, yeah.
This is a lot.
Yeah, it's fine.
a
It's
lot.
fine. It's fine. 8 megabytes per second. Yeah, it should be fine.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I like it. I
No, 88. Not
think, no,
8.
80. Oh, yes. 88 megabytes per second. Oh, yeah. Should be fine. Yeah, we've got those 4 terabyte SSDs, so those will bear the brunt of it for a little while.
We were gonna build the most ridiculous like YouTube watching machine.
Yeah.
Just, like,
Will we be violating YouTube's terms of service? Are you
Oh,
allowed
dear.
to not watch? I mean, come on.
it's
It's in the name of science.
it's not technically a bot.
Yeah. It's actually legitimately someone will sit and they will click. And then it's up to YouTube what they do from there. It's not our fault.
Does it ever? Will it stop?
I don't think it stops. We'll find out. We'll report back to you
We
guys.
would need
In the
to
meantime,
like keep the mouse moving on all of them. Could write a script to keep the mouse moving.
I guess
on all
that's a bot.
but it's not interacting with the window. I'm not saying clicking or anything. Just keep the mouse moving.
I see. So it could just click the start menu periodically?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we won't do any of that.
Totally.
Not at all. Okay. Smaller chips moving forward. That
Got
is
it,
to say
got it.
processors. Oh, you beat me to it.
I had it ready.
Rat bastard. Original article here from the New York Times may depend on. This is such a great. Like. I actually don't know where they put it in the article. Nope. No, it looks like someone was just the SEO guy over at the New York Times was just having fun. Smaller chips may depend on technology from Grandma's radio. When the actual headline is smaller chips may depend on vacuum tube technology.
So the URL is just kind of funny.
The URL is amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Um,
Some writer was like, "No one's ever gonna see this."
So the silicon transistor is a tiny switch that is basically the fundamental building block of modern microelectronics. And they've been getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until they've gotten to the point where they can't figure out what substrates to put them on, and they can't figure out how to cram them any closer together without having to deal with like electron migration and they just plain old can't build them any smaller.
It's becoming like a very much a problem.
Yeah, Moore's law. I mean, look at Intel. They were like tick-tock until the end of time. Now it's like tick-de-tock. So it's like a.
But even with Moore's law, the idea isn't that you do the exact same thing forever. The idea is you innovate and change what you're doing, but the performance metrics and whatnot increase.
Well, Moore's law, strictly speaking, like original Moore's law, was that the transistor density would double.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I
it's-
guess it is totally you do the same
So if you find ways to improve performance that involve like farting on every chip on its way out of the factory, if that somehow unicorn farts or something, then that's still maintaining the performance.
It can now reflect every color of the rainbow
Yeah.
because of the unicorn fart.
Yeah.
So it makes it like a quantum chip because
Yeah.
you don't necessarily know which
It
color.
could have any state within the entire spectrum of light.
Yeah, which would that's mean,
actually very cool.
Yeah.
Good thought. If
you.
only we could find a unicorn to test it.
Yes.
So anyway, smaller chips may see the silicon transistor replaced by the vacuum tube.
Which is like so ass backwards, because the other version of that, like the vacuum tube being replaced by the transistors, happened in the 1970s. So like it happening again and the other way, I don't know. The size of these things is where is it, like 1/1,000th the size of original vacuum tubes or something?
Yeah, so this is, there's actually a lot of notes on this article because Colton and Nick know that we're not particularly sciencey, so they try and help us. So it's the nanofabrication group at Caltech that's researching these ultra small fabricated circuits that function like vacuum tubes as a candidate to replace the transistor. None of this is set in stone.
The ultra small means something to the effect of 1/1,000th the size of old vacuum tubes.
The research is being
So-
financed by Boeing, and the researchers have also explored using vacuum tubes for flat panel displays sorry, not these researchers. Researchers also explored using them for flat panel displays in the 1990s, though LCD technology ended up being both cheaper and more effective in that case. So here's the kind of like the counterintuitive brain explosion, how it works. Because the problem with modern transistors is that the smaller they get, the more they leak electrons. So in modern chips, as much as half of the power consumed is being lost to electrons leaking from transistors that are only dozens of atoms wide, wasting energy and generating heat. Which heat, by the way, causes these transistors to eventually fail, speeding up the process of electron migration. So these miniature vacuum tube switches use a mechanism that causes leakage in transistors, known as quantum tunneling, to switch on and off the flow of electrons without leakage.
Yes, which is like the whole point.
So they would use less power and work faster than today's transistor-based chips. They can be, yeah.
To be clear, vacuum tubes are not the only thing that could possibly replace the modern transistor.
Little carbon nanotubes.
Yeah.
Which we hear a lot about, but
Yes.
see very little.
Yes, and have been hearing a lot about for a very long time.
Yes.
So hopefully something actually happens with them. But yeah, this is just another one of those attempts to solve the problem.
So to be clear, how close are we to being up against the wall? Well, once the industry shrinks below 10 nanometers, which, by the way, we're as low as 14 nanometer on Intel's latest process. So once the industry gets below 10 nanometers, silicon becomes much more unpredictable, doing weird stuff like emitting light. So that's not ideal, and a new solution will be needed.
Yeah.
This is interesting. So the original article here is from USA Today. Microsoft makes a bold move into helping serve the marijuana business.
I think this is super smart.
Does this have to do with their Washington headquarters?
That's kind of funny. Maybe.
Wah, wah.
The reason why I think this is super smart is because Canada is currently trying to make it officially legal, and is planning for that in like 2017 or whatever. We've seen states like Colorado be able to do amazing things with the taxable money that they've gotten off of the sale of this stuff. Like actually really amazing things, considering they've made millions and millions of dollars off of it, which is great. So it's kind of happening. It being legalized is kind of happening. So Microsoft getting behind it and the server side of things is great. They're doing that not by like necessarily making anything, but they're allowing a company called Kind, at least I think that's a shortened version of it, Kind Financial, to use their Azure service for their, what is it, seed to sale program, which tracks plants all the way through the process, which is good because it's a highly regulated government thing, as it probably should be.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of the things about pot. Now,
Slang terms.
I've actually had a lot of people
I don't know what these are.
Speculate.
I just like put fingers over top of other fingers and was like, yeah.
In American Sign Language, it's two R's facing each other.
Is it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. So
like two lions.
I've seen a lot of speculation online as to whether or not I hashtag 420 blaze it. I'm going to actually acknowledge it for the first time ever. I don't smoke pot.
I
Never
actually
have.
don't either. I get lots of comments about that too because I have kind of droopy eyes.
Yeah.
So everyone just no, I don't.
I look tired because I run my own business, and my eyes are red because I'm up late running my own business. And so a lot of people figure that that has to do with the marijuana. It actually isn't. The last thing I need is to be slightly less alert at any point during the day because I have 2, almost 3 children now, and I have stuff to do.
I do support the legalization and taxation, though.
So, I'm taking a stance on something that I normally don't get involved in. I fully support the legalization of it because of a couple of reasons. Number one is I have to pay a toll to cross the bridge into the city now because our government doesn't have enough money because they're busy letting the Hells Angels take all of the revenue from marijuana sales. Thank you for that.
And you're clearly not stopping it from happening, so you might as well make money off it.
And number two is I would really like for marijuana to be safer for the people who are using it. Right now, marijuana is not a drug that is, and you know what, you can debate this all day, but it's not a drug that is, in the grand scheme of things, particularly dangerous, especially when compared to other completely legal substances like alcohol.
And when you're buying it from like super sketchy dudes, they could lace it with whatever, and it can be a dangerous process.
And that's where marijuana can get extraordinarily dangerous and can be used as a gateway drug, so to speak, to get people hooked on much, much harder substances, something that while I haven't personally experienced, I've had people that are very close to me personally experience, and is a super huge bummer. So having it be available legally and getting the taxation revenue, as well as making it safer for people who are quite frankly obviously going to do it anyway, is not the end of the world for me.
You're really losing that war. Not you, like.
So
yeah.
There you have it. I have officially taken a stance on it. I don't use it. I never have. I don't intend to, but I don't care if other people use it because I personally don't think there's anything you can do to stop them anyhow.
And give the government that tax money. That's
Yep.
the main, like, oh my God, Colorado made so much off of that. That's fantastic. Fill some holes in some roads. Take some tolls away.
Yeah,
do
take
some
my toll off
help
my bridge.
education.
You know how much that bridge costs across? It's like $3.50 each way.
I know,
It cost me $7 to go to IKEA.
It's actually nuts.
Not to mention the like $500 that you spend every time you go to IKEA, because how does it happen?
It just does.
It just does.
Yeah. What if IKEA had tolls?
Um,
In order to go backwards through the store, you have to like spend money.
well, it's kind of like that because you can't get out of the store.
I know, that's what I mean though. Or like if you go from one section to the next section without spending like 15 minutes there, you get a toll. So if you like spend long enough in each section of the store, you can go through it for free. Or if you spend even longer, you get a bonus of free meatballs.
The number of people like listening to me but not understanding me is unbelievable. OMG, it's not a gateway drug. It sure as hell is if it's laced with something else that you become
That's
physically
what he was
dependent
saying.
on.
If you put something hyper addictive on top of the weed or whatever,
Which
that
is clearly
person
not
will then-
exactly how the process works, but
Yeah, I don't know these things. You would then become addicted to that and need that, and then yeah.
and you can, to be very clear, and this is something a lot of people don't know, you can be addicted to a substance never having knowingly consumed it, or even in fact never having consumed it.
Yeah.
Babies can be born addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
And by addicted, that doesn't mean they use it. That means that they are physically dependent on it, and they will undergo withdrawal symptoms if they were to get some small taste of it and then not have it anymore instantly, because they already have a physical dependency.
Yeah. So we're talking about jerkbag drug dealers lacing things in order to hook clients that they can make money on for the rest of that client's life. We're
On
not
harder
talking
drugs.
about
All right, so let's talk about ways of making money on that subject that I personally don't really agree with. Let's do the Internet Creators Guild. So
Oh. I'm on it.
I would call
Medium
myself
article? No, okay.
as big a fan of Hank Green and the Green Brothers in general that I could be without watching their content. Like, I've probably only watched, you could count on one hand the number of videos I've watched from them, but I respect them a lot as internet entrepreneurs, as content creators, as people who have taken making YouTube videos and turned it into not just a bigger business, because it's not just about that, but into a viable career for the people around them. It's something I admire, it's something I respect, it's something I aspire to do for myself. And for the people around me, like this guy.
Hello.
I think that being an online content creator is a real job, and I like to be the proof of it, not just for myself, but for others.
Have you noticed it's getting notably less weird to tell people what
Yep.
you do?
Yep. At
In
least
like
people have
the
heard of
last
YouTube.
3 years, even.
Yep.
Like huge changes.
So I never even used to tell people the
I
YouTube
know.
part of my job
I
when
used
was
to
at
try to
MSI
hide
ASUS.
it.
Yeah.
And now when I try to hide it by saying I work for a media creation company, and they eventually dig a little bit further and I say YouTube, it's not like the super weird response anymore.
So with my respect for the Green Brothers and Hank in particular,
Someone in the chat, sorry. Someone in the
mind.
chat is like, thank God Linus thinks his own job is a real job.
that was a close one there. I think this is an ugly, blatant cash grab. I think that the Internet Creators Guild post from Hank Green announcing it 2 days ago reads like a market analysis business case study determining the feasibility of this as a way to make a profit. Maybe I am completely backwards because for the most part, Hank's intentions seem pretty good. He seems to have in the past been pretty pro content creator, but I can't think of a reason for anything that the Internet Creators Guild proposes to do to cost money. And this all reads like figuring out it's like a spreadsheet of how much money we can make on this. How many internet creators are there? How about 37,000? And then there's some crap about, for context, Facebook has 12,000 employees, and if every internet creator were a company, it would be hiring faster than any company in Silicon Valley. And there's 300,000 people making more than
What?
2,500.
If Internet Creator were a company,
Yeah.
it would be... What?
If you added them all together, anyway. So the number of people making $2,500 a year, 300,000, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 continues to get more complex. It's up to, and a lot of this is valid. The fact that it's up to individual creators to take time off from their lives, running small businesses to, deal with something going wrong, like, I don't know, say, for example, Amazon cutting off your affiliate account. And I've known people who have personally had it happen to not just me for reasons that suck a lot more than, well, I violated the terms of service and they kicked me to the curb without so much as a phone call or a, one last time,
Yeah.
Like Austin, for example.
Someone in the chat, sorry, this was my point, so I want to say it. If plumbers were a company, it would be the largest company. It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, what?
Which has absolutely nothing to do with anything. Like Austin Evans, for example, had his turned off temporarily because it wasn't available in the state that he was living in all of a sudden. Like it can just happen. Things can go wrong. And I see that that's interesting. And then there's this bolded point. There is no system for protecting creators, many of whom have no experience in any industry, let alone the notoriously cutthroat entertainment industry. And there's no centralized organization representing creators. So it goes on to say, so I'm creating one to which I'm contributing $50,000, which is coming from VidCon, which is, and then it even says, obviously, VidCon benefits hugely from the explosion in online content, and we're looking for ways to give back, also known as invest in it. And blah, 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 blah. Laura, who has worked with VidCon since the first year, will be the executive director. So here are some things it wants to do, most of which I think are pure nonsense. Help the press talk intelligently about online video. So...
What?
So what, you want to be Tube Filter or something? Like you just want to be a publication that other online press can can someone call?
I guess
the
they're
Creators Guild when
yeah,
they're trying to
if maybe investigative journalism of some sort is doing.
They want to be a okay. Anyway, so share stories and strategies from professional creators that will be available only to members. Why would these be available only to members? If the idea is that you actually want to be helpful, collecting stories and strategies from professional creators is not real freaking difficult. We've had plenty of professional creators on, for example, the WAN show as guests in the past. increased transparency about what creators do and don't receive from MCNs, advertisers, agencies, and managers. This I can see being valuable, but this could be done in a handful of blog posts. This doesn't need an organization. Act as a bridge between creators and platforms. This looks like an opportunity to double dip to me. This looks like an opportunity to charge platforms for access to the creators you represent. I mean, that feels an awful lot like what an MCN's role was supposed to be. And as long as they are serving the creator's interest rather than their own, then I guess that's great. But again, I don't see that being a full-time job, and I don't see that being something that a creator should have to pay for, because that's where we're getting. There are some things here that I think are great. For example, sample contracts for sponsors, managers, MCNs, merchandise, and agencies would have been phenomenally helpful for us a few years ago. But some of this stuff just doesn't mean anything. Foster diversity in online video content? How are you going to do that? Online video content is quite possibly the most diverse video platform available and has absolutely nothing preventing it from being more diverse as video equipment and access to good enough internet and computer hardware to create videos becomes more and more affordable as time goes on. You have absolutely zero impact on this. So it reads like a bunch of lists of things that sound great on paper and for some reason cost $60 a year per creator. We figure you can spare $5 a month for this, and if we can't provide enough value to make that investment more than worth it, we're just not doing a good job. The thing that I really hate about this is that everything there, the sample contracts are a great example, could have been done in a few minutes for free as like a tab, like a drop down on the VidCon website, like creator resources. And they've got this board of directors that's a bunch of prominent creators. Anna Akana's one of them. They've got an advisory board that includes Casey Neistat, so some pretty big names. For experienced guys like that, or if they reached out to guest creators, for example, YouTube asked me to create a number of years ago a segment on finding your niche that I happily did. Lots of content creators would be happy to create advice for smaller creators. There is no reason that $60 a year needs to be charged. And the thing that really bugs me about it is that I can really see it working, and I can see it working on the people who we really shouldn't be taking money from. Like, I've attended 3 Google workshops now, like Google YouTube run workshops for existing and wannabe content creators. And those guys are really impressionable and, quite frankly, a little vulnerable. They just need basic information, a lot of which can be accessed through YouTube's own tools that are built right into the video dashboard. And
the main thing totally is the contracts.
Yep.
Contracts are scary. Not a lot of people understand them because they're written in a kind of weird way, and a lot of them get thrown at you really fast. And yeah, I don't feel like you need a membership for that.
So especially, you don't need a membership, in my mind, for joining a guild that talks about a lot of these things, but actually doesn't have any bargaining power with anyone whatsoever. So they're completely powerless. They're taking your membership fee, and they offer these sort of vague resources that, you know, if we're not doing a good enough job, then I guess don't buy it anymore. Yeah. So what happens, anyway, so I had actually told myself when I read this article that I wasn't going to bother talking about it because I just didn't want to give it any publicity, but instead I've decided to talk about it because I don't like it. I think it's crappy. I think all these resources are out there. I know because I've been through this as well. And yeah. And Floating Cactus puts it well. It's just another euphemism for union, except that the key difference here is that a union actually has collective bargaining power, which a guild does not. So there you go.
Wah, wah.
I really don't like it. Let's move on to our next topic. Oh, this is sort of a scandal. Original article here is from Tech Power Up. Allegedly, MSI and ASUS send VGA review samples with higher clocks than retail cards. Dun, dun, dun.
So I think it's not just that. I don't know how many different notes we have on this, but I was scrambling, researching this as fast as I could before we went on the show. And if I saw correctly, they're actually different BIOSes.
Dun, dun, dun.
And like some cards will have like OC mode and LN2 mode and all that stupid crap that you should just.
Well,
all
LN2
the
mode
way
on
up.
that Kingpin card was useful because remember it circumvented all the OCP crap.
Yeah, no.
In that
but, like,
one
they
circumstance.
should just all be always on.
Well, I think that's an NVIDIA restriction, so that's a whole deeper.
Okay.
We're back to green light at that point, which I've talked about extensively in the past, and I hate, but is sort of. I also understand why it exists.
Yeah. Anyways, so like some people were saying that it's just they're shipped preset in one of those bigger modes. Mm-hmm. So like it would show up in LN2 mode or OC mode or whatever. Some people are saying that they're a custom BIOS that have cranked settings above what you can normally have.
So consumers have access, this is from the Tech Power Up article, to the higher clock speed profiles, but only if they install a custom app by the companies and enable that profile, something that quite frankly flies in the face of
Not
the
that many
advice
people
that's
do.
been being given by tech publications for the last decade, which is don't install AI Suite, don't install any random applications, because for the most part all they do is bog down your system. So to have the product require that application from an end user, but not for a reviewer, feels a little skeevy.
Some of this I worry about because of GPU boost.
Yep.
I've done videos on that before, and this is honestly getting close to the margin of error kind of problem with GPU boost, where cards just come out at different speeds.
Yep.
But it came out that these were predefined settings, not just the card acting differently.
And it would be very difficult for the average reviewer, even a very vigilant one, to notice these differences. So in the case of the GTX 1080 Gaming X from Gigabyte, wait, did I say Gigabyte? No, I think that's an MSI card. Sorry, Gaming X. I think that's MSI. Yeah, MSI. Sorry. I don't know. G1 Gaming.
Yeah, I know.
Gaming X.
Yeah, it's hard.
The difference is 1822 megahertz boost versus 1847 megahertz boost.
That can totally feel like a GPU boost.
That's a 1%
fluctuation.
difference that basically really doesn't make much of a difference at all, but would be a difference between what a reviewer would see versus what an end user would see without the utility. So it really does feel like splitting hairs a little bit to people like me who don't really overclock video cards anyway, but to a consumer who shops
Yeah.
based on a review that compares a bunch of GTX 1080s. I mean, you and I don't even look at that stuff anymore because it's like, well, if I really wanted to turn it up another 20 megahertz, I would.
Yeah, just do it myself. Yeah.
I just go with what I know has a good warranty, what I think looks cool, and what has water block compatibility.
If this has been going on for a long time, I wonder if it is related to why I ended up making all those GPU boost videos. Because I do specifically remember having a card and being like, this is running not at all at what it says it's supposed to run at.
Interesting.
So sending out emails, but I'm not entirely sure.
So this is interesting. I actually first heard about this when someone posted on my Facebook post or on my tweet. Actually, I've been engaging a lot more on Facebook. I've been reading a lot more stuff now that I realized it reaches so many more people. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should spend some time on this platform. Anyway, someone asked when I posted a picture of an EVGA 1070, hey, there's this scandal, is EVGA doing it? I have a response from Jacob, and I'm not going to include what he said about the other companies because, you know, that's a private conversation. But what he has to say about EVGA is that we are not doing it. EVGA cards have always been exactly the same hardware and BIOS as production, so no need to worry there, smiley face.
And therefore, our 1070 review will move on.
Jacob is a good guy. He would not lie to me. There's a lot of people in the industry that I would not necessarily say that about, but Jacob's salt of the earth. If he says it, I believe it. So there you go. EVGA is not involved. Okay. Let me have a look. Yeah, I don't really see anything else that seems that important here. So I
Nope,
guess
those
that's
are all the ones I really wanted to
pretty
talk
much
about.
it.
This news is a little bit late, but if we just want to talk about something else at all, Nostalrius finally had their meeting with Blizzard.
Really?
And, like, basically all the top heads of whatever at World of Warcraft and the CEO of Blizzard were all in on the meeting. And the meeting ended up going like multiple hours overtime.
Okay.
And apparently they were taking a lot of notes and had a lot of interesting inside metrics and stuff. They didn't lose the code. That was not a thing that happened. They still have the code. There's certain, because of like how versioning software works, they can go back and find it. There's certain things that they don't have. I don't remember, without going back to the post, I don't remember exactly what it is. So there's still some rebuilding that has to be done, but they're not like missing the entire game.
Right. Which was the original story.
Yes. Yeah.
That no one bought.
No.
I thought it was possible. Like, thinking back, we don't have original footage or
But
even
that's-
exported video footage. Well, hold on. Stuff can happen. A hard drive can die.
Right. But again, small company versus big company.
Small company versus
They would
big
have versioning control, and they would have that stuff in multiple places.
Big company that might have determined that the 9 years ago build is not that important anymore. It's possible.
I doubt it.
It's
just
possible.
because, like, what if they wanted to do some weird...
Valve
like,
lost an entire episode of Half-Life.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Anyways, apparently, like, they're not really saying anything yet or whatever. I kind of expect if anything gets announced, it wouldn't be before BlizzCon, and that's not for a while. So,
Right.
yeah. But apparently it was a very positive overall meeting.
Okay. Well, that's good to
And,
hear.
like, devs in the meeting were being like, yeah, if it was back, I would play. So, that was kind of interesting.
That's telling.
Yeah.
That's like, ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, ow. Okay.
So I think they might actually want to do it, but I think they wanted to get the movie out of the way.
Right.
They wanted to get the launch of Legion out of I don't mean like wanting to get it out of the way. They wanted those things to
Right.
walk their course first.
Yeah.
And then I think if they launch it anywhere, it would probably be BlizzCon.
Speaking of which, you saw the movie.
Yeah. Okay. I have seen multiple videos online of people saying that it sticks to the lore really well. What book did you read? Not the ones I read.
And I'm gonna exit.
No, it's fine. I'm not going to talk about it for too long. I've been thinking about making a video on this. I just don't even know where to start. Like,
Hit it.
Oh my
Warcraft
God.
movie is highly topical to our viewers.
I just like.
He's already
there's so
convinced
many
me not
things-
to watch it.
Okay, Medivh. Oh, I don't want to give spoilers, but like, there's books and games already out. So is it okay?
I think. Oh, okay. You know what? No, hold on. I want to hear from the audience. We can just give people the opportunity to tune out. You know
Okay.
what?
I can talk about one thing
yeah,
before they answer this poll.
Let's do this. Let's can the WAN show, and let's do a short after party
Okay,
today. Let's
cool.
talk about the
All right,
Warcraft movie. I want to do one more topic before we cut the show. Microsoft considered launching an upgraded Xbox One this year. Phil Spencer came out and basically said, yeah, we could have done an upgraded Xbox, but no, it's still working. See?
Okay.
It's just not changing scenes because I think I like misclicked.
Okay.
Weird. Oh, I moved it. That's what happened. There we
Okay,
go. All
cool.
good. Actually, the stream system's
It's
been
working fine.
like totally fine. No weird behavior in XSplit. No weird behavior
Maybe
in
we
the tabs.
surged the power supply at some point or something.
I don't know, man. So Phil Spencer basically said at an interview at E3 that the company seriously considered launching a new Xbox One with upgraded hardware this year, but decided against it, is instead launching a smaller version of the Xbox One, the Xbox One S. They're focusing on a 4K-ready console to release
Scorpio.
next year. Codename Scorpio.
Which has like actually a pretty crazy GPU in it.
Well, that's
Over
probably
6 teraflops.
That's probably why they didn't launch it this year, because honestly, to me, the console refresh has been a waiting game from the beginning.
I was talking to John about it, and no, I haven't read anything about this anywhere. I have no like solid actual reason to think this. I'm just kind of wondering if it's a SoC 1070, because the memory bandwidth matches up, and the teraflops on the chip is very close. They said 6, I think, and the 1070 is 6 point something.
It could also be, they could also be going back to AMD. AMD didn't say anything about it, but man, they were smug as a bee in a bee suit.
Okay.
I've invented that saying. No one ever said that before. No. But AMD was pretty smug about their console leadership when I was at the Polaris launch event.
So it's still AMD.
So I am guessing.
The only reason
no information
why I got excited about that is because Phil Spencer or whatever was talking about VR.
Yeah.
I almost included it in my Oculus Rift thing, but I didn't bother. And the PlayStation VR stuff that's coming out, they're both pushing towards VR, and SMP would help them a lot.
Right.
So I thought that made sense, but I guess not.
So basically, in a nutshell, I think Microsoft, by waiting out Sony a little bit longer, has effectively won the next generation, the 4K generation console war. They're going to be so much more powerful, and Nick is standing there because we never actually did our sponsor spots for this week's WAN show, which we will definitely do right now. Discord is an all-in-one voice and text chat for gamers. It's free, it's
and
secure,
a tier set for priests in World of Warcraft.
and it works on both your desktop and your phone. They have an encrypted server to client communication method that keeps your IP safe, and they have DDoS protection, something Skype could surely use. With automatic server failover, you can share images, video, and links from your desktop or phone, and Discord embeds most media directly in the chat. Although GIFs only play when you mouse over them, which is probably a good idea with some of the GIFs that I've seen. GIFs that I've seen people share in gaming chats.
Captain America Civil War starts. GIFs.
It takes 10 seconds to set up and doesn't require any drivers, and you can run it in your browser if desired. So if you're looking for a great free voice and text chat, check out Discord at the link below. The link, unfortunately, isn't provided in my WAN show notes, so hopefully Nick is on his way back up to his computer to post it or something.
Are you a GIF person?
At this moment. I am a whatever makes you mad person.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of making you mad,
GIF makes me really mad.
Lynda.com. Used by millions of people around the world.
Why does Lynda make me mad?
If I get my talking points wrong, because you love Lynda so much.
I actually do.
Lynda is used by thousands of people around the world. They have more than 3 courses available on topics like
that's not wrong.
glittering your iPhone.
That's wrong.
Cleaning out the feet of your horse, and
well,
flattering your significant other. Beautiful.
If you used one of their courses to write a program that taught people how to clean the feet of their horses.
Okay, so what Lynda.com actually does, I think Nick's coming out to yell at me for not using the real talking points. It's used by millions of people around the world. Use the real talking points. It has more than 3,000 courses available on topics like web development, photography, visual design, business, video editing, software training for software like Excel, Word, WordPress, and Photoshop. Word and WordPress, not related actually.
Yeah.
All courses are taught by industry experts with new courses added every week. So whether the idea is to take your hobby to the next level, you want to, learn the rule of thirds for photography, or whether the idea is to get a job, like some of the people who actually legit work here at Linus Media Group. Taryn was even doing Premiere tutorials not that long ago, because brushing up on the basics can be a great way to explore new tools.
One of the coolest things, in my opinion, I like this. If you're working alongside the video, so if it's like do this, do that, or it teaches you how to do something, you want to try it and go back to it, there is a text version of the script, and you can click on the text version of the script and have it bring you to that part of the video, which is actually super cool.
They've got a 10-day trial that lets you access every course on Lynda.com, and it's free. And all you got to do is head over to lynda.com/wanshow for that aforementioned trial and start learning today. Plans start at only $25 a month. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than BCIT, that's for sure.
Yes, it is.
So thanks for watching the WAN Show, guys. We'll see you shortly at the very short after party where Luke tells me, actually, as much as you guys, spoiler alert, about the Warcraft movie. We're live.
Whoa.